Welcome to the WinEH podcast. This show is focused on empowering ranchers. Whether you're a seasoned rancher or just getting started, we'll guide you on how to use the infinite banking concept as an alternative way to finance your operations. It's a better way to think about money. Join us as we discuss planning for the future, attracting the next generation, and the art of keeping more money within the family. Here's your hosts, Winnie and Lacy.
Hello and welcome over there. We are so honored that you're choosing to lean in with us today and find out a little bit more about, is the infinite banking concept for you, right? And so I'm going to direct the conversation in a way where just to have Lacy share her own personal experience about how she decided if this was for her or not, right? So I believe it was your husband, Reed, who actually discovered it more so.
Yeah, it was. He did. Yeah, so he came home one day, said, I heard about something on the Working Cows podcast and asked me, like, there's the book, something about farming without the bank. I really think we should order it and look into this. I have a great feeling about this. And so did some searching, found Mary Jo's website, got our copy. I'm pretty sure this is the actual copy that we ordered back in 2019. He read it first. I will be honest with you. I thought it was a scam. But after reading it, I think I read it 2 times. And then we were like, okay, let's contact Winnie and see what she has to say. So that's how we got started.
You know, I always feel like we start getting curious about certain things because there's something in our lives going on in that moment that is causing us to go somewhere else, right? And this is, the infinite banking concept is a financial lifestyle, right? It's a particular strategy. It's all of those things. And so in driving home the point, like, who is this really for, right? It's those looking for a change in how they're going about experiencing their finances. So what was it for you and your husband that was sort of getting you curious about, hey, we should explore this because...
Yeah, I think for quite a few years, we had just been looking for something better, looking for something other than government programs to rely on for places to put our money for those retirement years. And the retirement years were something that were on my mind all the time. Like, what are we going to do in our retirement years? What are we going to do right now to set ourselves up for those years and to not have to experience the struggles that we witness so often with individuals and couples who are in those passive income years. And so for us, it was always on that search for, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way than relying on government programs and how much is the old age security going to be, and being in a position to help our children when we're in those passive income years. So that would be what the driving force for us was.
I really appreciate what you have to say there, because it can be very disempowering knowing that, you know, your financial future is dependent on someone else, right? Or entities, so to speak, like really just relying on the government to come to our rescue, or relying on our investments to actually perform the way that they're supposed to. So in terms of like, who could this be really great for? I think it really suits those that are really seeking to empower themselves financially, that this is something that, you know, you can gain a lot more financial control by really taking it into your own hands. Now that you have been in the practice with me for a few years now at this point, and then just conversation by conversation with those that we meet, what are some of your thoughts in terms of who is this for? Who is infinite banking for?
Yeah, this is, I love having this conversation, and especially with clients, or even my own kids. Who is it for? So someone who's looking for a change, someone who maybe hasn't found their financial path. They're searching for that path. They're looking for a change. They're searching for that path that resonates with them. And for me, it was finding this path that gave me hope and gave me peace that, okay, if I am coachable, if we are coachable and we follow what Winnie, or you at the time, our advisor, if we follow her lead, then I can lay my head down at night knowing that there's hope and peace for those years. So I would say it's for someone who's looking for change, someone who is looking for their financial path that hasn't found it yet, and someone who's coachable. You're willing to put in the work. You're willing to, you're brave enough to get started. Yeah. You're brave enough, disciplined enough to read a book. You're brave enough to take a leap and get started, and then be coachable to implement this into their life. And if you're not coachable and you're not, brave enough to take that leap, you might not be as pleased with it as the people who are doing that.
Mm-hmm. I want to expand a little bit more on what you're saying there. Yes, definitely reading a book, because we all have different ways in which we take in information. Some of us like reading the written word. Some of us really like listening to it and taking it in while we're multitasking and doing things. So, this is also a really great way to find out more about this, especially for those of you who are ranching and farming out there, right? There's plenty of tasks that you guys do, plenty of tasks, chores, and everything where you could easily take in some really great information. Talking about being coachable, the reason why coaching is you get coached because it's a process, right? So notice that this is not a product. This is actually a process, like a financial lifestyle that you have to integrate into your life. That requires coaching. It's not like, buying something at a retail store, and purchasing it and then setting it aside and forgetting it, right? And maybe looking at it once a year. Yeah. This is an active process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? I have a great analogy for that. So our boys play hockey. My husband helped coach this year. And so when hockey started in October, everybody's excited. You get your practices, your first skate. And at the end of that season, and I think I made a Facebook post about this, it was something like 49 practices, 16 dry land sessions, 44 games, and that team ended up being the provincial champions in their tier and their age group. But it took all of those steps. So if we hadn't practiced, we wouldn't have been provincial champions. But it's just like that. It's a process. The whole hockey season is a process, same as implementing this concept is a process.
Yeah, so definitely it requires a curious mind and patience to learn about this, because it's not commonplace. It's not like everyone knows about it. There is a bit of a learning curve. What would you say in terms of like how long it took you personally? Every personality is different. How far and deep people go to research something before they go ahead and do it, right? How long do you feel like it took you and Reed to get engaged?
I believe, I was just looking back at this, we ordered our book in October of 2019, and by December of 2019, so 2 months later, in December, we had our first meeting, and by the beginning of 2020, our policies were put into place. So got the book 2 months later, first meeting, not necessarily the first meeting, but the first okay, let's start the process of setting up policies. And so I think we were maybe fast tracked, but it also was something that really resonated with us, and something ordered the book, read it right away.
Yeah. And that's where the journey starts, right? And I guess where we're kind of heading with this is just level setting expectations. It's different for everybody, and it goes to your own pace. I mean, I just met with a couple the other day. Their journey started over 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But they weren't ready to pull the trigger because they had a lot of conflicting information, right? So this is really about, is IBC for you? If there's other episodes that we have that get into what is it, right? So we're not here to talk about what is it. We're here to talk about, is this for you, right? And it's for you when you're ready.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I fully believe that we can be exposed to information along, our journey day to day, but until it's our time and until we're ready, then we're not going to pull the trigger, and it's maybe not necessarily going to work out. And so, yeah, it might take you 2 months, or it might take you 4 years to come back and be like, hey, actually, I think this does resonate with me, and it's something that I'm willing to give a go or learn more about, explore, because it's not for everyone, but the people that do dive in and do the work see the results.
Absolutely. And so let's talk a little bit more about, in the sense of, in what other aspects in a person's thinking could this be something that infinite banking could play a role in? So I guess where I'm going with that is, once you actually start reading the book and learning a little bit more about it, I think it's for you if you see it as a solution to some problems that you are experiencing, right? Yeah. And I think, although everybody's ranching operations and farming operations are different, I mean, you could be just starting out, you could be a few generations into your whole operations, but the issues are still relatively the same, in the sense of, do we have enough cash flow? Or how do you always put it? Do you have enough money do you have more money at the end of the month, or more month at the end of the month?
At the end of the money.
I can never say it right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I always say that. And, for ranchers, I always say, at the end of your year, do you have more year at the end of your money, or do you have more money at the end of your year? And we want you to have more money at the end of your year. And
yeah. And, what's really great about this, we really think that IBC could be for you, especially if you're a lot more conservative in nature. Like, you don't want to play the stock markets, you're not necessarily super comfortable with like investing your money. And that's, the tricky thing is too here, Nelson Nash, who wrote Becoming Your Own Banker, as a forester, he always talked about the classification of things, right? And a lot of the financial products on the Canadian marketplace are actually quite misclassified, right? So it's interesting, like when we do, not that they don't play a function in the overall financial picture. However, it is a little bit deceiving for the TFSA, for instance, or the RRSPs, tax-free savings account, registered retirement savings account. But the characteristic of actually being able to invest your savings kind of defeats the purpose of our understanding. Like, our understanding is, if we're going to save something, that means that when we are saving for it, every single penny that we've saved is going to be there for when we need it.
Yeah.
Versus if you invest it, yes, there's a whole other mindset that comes with investing. So it's like, why not just call it what it is, like a registered retirement investing account? That way, we're actually a lot more clear about what's actually happening with our money. No different than, the tax-free savings account. Okay, yes, you can earn the gross on your money tax-free if it grows, right?
Yeah, if it grows.
So the infinite banking concept is really about, how can we keep more of our money without having to think about investing?
Yeah. Yeah, because I know, that's for me, like with investing, it's always in the back of your mind, like, okay, but what if I lose it? Am I willing to lose it? Can my family be okay if I lose it? And so for us personally, when we found IBC, it's like peace. Oh, so if we put our money here, it's bound by contract, it's going to be there. And so then I'm just like, it was kind of a relief to know that we didn't have to subject our money to the marketplace where there's a possibility of losing it all. And I actually know someone who lost it all. Put it
it's
all there
feeling,
and lost
right?
it. Yeah.
You know what I really enjoy about, like, obviously I didn't grow up on a ranch or on a farm. I just am a huge fan, right? Love how you guys think, love how you guys love the lifestyle. Not exactly ready to like dive headfirst into like being out in the middle of nowhere. I enjoy it when I'm out there, but I know I can come back.
Yeah.
But man, anyways, coming back to what this is really about, IBC does challenge the way that you think about money. And the reason why it's like, we can't just come up with a 5-second elevator pitch. You know, like I think a lot of people say, well, if you can't tell me what it is in 5 minutes, then it's too difficult. Well, if you expect a 5-minute explanation about what this is, then this is definitely not for you. And I'm not about to, do the injustice of how great this can be on so many levels. And it deserves the attention. And it does make people, it actually, I don't know what it is about getting into the infinite banking concept, but it does make people question everything that they know about money. Everything. Like, I don't think no one's ever done like, how much due diligence did any of you do when you opened up a freaking bank account? What happens with your money when you put money in the bank account?
Yeah. Exactly. And if you want me to give you a 5-minute elevator pitch on your financial future, my financial future deserves more than a 5-minute elevator pitch. So does everybody else's. And yeah, you're not going to get a 5-minute elevator pitch from us and know everything that you need to know on whether it resonates with you.
Just take it. So little by little, you will know if IBC is for you, and just know that takes time. And so why don't you let us know, Lacy, how they can start taking this information in?
Yeah. So reach out to us, Winnie@ranchyourway.com or Lacy@ranchyourway.com. Head over to our website, ranchyourway.com. Grab the books. You need Farming Without the Bank and Nelson's book, BYOB. To get started, you deserve to know about it.
So glad you leaned in with us on the WinEH podcast. We truly hope you're feeling more informed and empowered to take another step towards optimizing your financial life. Right now, make sure you hit subscribe so you can keep growing and learning with us. Until next time, we wish you prosperity in every area of your life.